With the release of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore on the horizon, I figured this was the perfect opportunity to look back on the wizarding world and review and analyze every single Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movie leading up to that latest installment's release on April 15th. And it all started with the 2002 classic Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, before I begin, I just want to make it clear that this isn't going to be like my usual reviews. Just because this movie is 20 years old and so that I can fanboy out as much as I want to, I'm going to be analyzing this movie scene by scene. So, if you haven't seen the movie yet, there's your spoiler warning. With that said, let's dive in. So this film opens by immediately diving headfirst into the wizarding world as Albus Dumbledore absorbs streetlights, Minerva McGonagall turns from a cat into a human, and Hagrid rides in on a flying motorcycle to deliver baby Harry to Privet Drive. From just the first few minutes alone, we as the audience are in awe of what these people can do and are ecstatic to see the possibilities of what's to come with them and the people surrounding them. Even before the title is revealed, we are entranced by this universe. A decade later, Harry has been raised in the abusive residence of his aunt, uncle, and cousin, the Dursleys. And just from this introduction to Harry, we understand his plight so much and sympathize with him straight from the get-go. He's forced to live in a small cupboard under the stairs. He's forced to wear clothes that are clearly too big for him. And even on his 11th birthday, the only celebration that he's given is by drawing dust on the floor of a birthday cake and then blowing it out. Because if there's one surefire way to make us sympathize with the main character immediately, it's by tearing them down. But Harry won't need to suffer his abusive relatives for much longer, as Hagrid breaks down the door and reveals to Harry that he, along with his deceased mother and father, is a wizard. And my God, how could you not love Hagrid? Whether it's Robbie Coltrane's wholly innocent performance, his writing that portrays him as dopey yet completely steadfast, or the multiple body doubles, clever camera angles, and effects that convincingly make him look like he's twice the size of a normal person, both filmmaking-wise and personality-wise, I love Hagrid so much. So Harry joins Hagrid as they travel to the first location of the wizarding world that both Harry and the audience get to see, Diagon Alley. Oh my God, Diagon Alley in this movie is amazing. From John Williams' warm and welcoming score, to the wibbly and wobbly set designs, to even the little touches of products inside each store, there's so much personality to this place. And while in Diagon Alley, Harry makes his way to Ollivanders, makers of fine wands since 382 BC, where he meets Garrick Ollivander, played beautifully by the late great John Hurt. This is, by all accounts, my favorite scene in the entire movie. It starts out quirky and wonderful, then as John Williams' eerie music kicks in, the whole scene just feels heavier, and when Harry is united with his wand, he is told all about Voldemort. The owner of the brother of Harry's wand, the man who killed Harry's parents, a man so feared that no one even dare say his name, a man so powerful that even Garrick Ollivander has to admit that Voldemort did great things with magic. Terrible. So after Harry gathers all of his school supplies, he makes his way to the Hogwarts Express and meets Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger for the first time. And these actors play their roles with such honest charisma. Even though they're so young, they have such fantastic chemistry with each other. Rupert Grint throughout the whole movie and even the whole franchise delivers some of the best comedic expressions I've seen in any movie, and Emma Watson plays up the role of the know-it-all bookworm to 11, and I love every minute of it. Once they reach their destination, they make it inside to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and why can't this place be real? The size and scale of Hogwarts, the inviting atmosphere of when they enter the Great Hall, the mystical music accompanying our main characters throughout their entire journey. So much of this world is so imaginative and is so fully realized in the world of live action that you just want to visit all of these locations, do all of these things, because it all seems so tangible. And as the film progresses, we come to a big strength that can also be seen as a big weakness of the film. For the next half hour or so, we mainly just follow our main characters going from class to class. And although I do love getting to know more of this world, it does sort of bog down the pacing. It gets to the point where nearly halfway through the movie on my latest rewatch, I was actually wondering where the story was going. But thankfully, the story does pick up after the dungeon troll attack, and a mystery starts to form. Who let the troll in? Who jinxed Harry's broom during a game of Quidditch? The trio starts to gather clues and suspects and starts to narrow it down to their ominous and suspicious potions professor, Severus Snape, played by the unequaled icon that is Alan Rickman. Rest in peace, man. You made this character wholly iconic and completely quotable as hell. So the three start to gather that Snape might be after the Sorcerer or Philosopher's Stone, which gives the wielder eternal life and is hidden somewhere inside the castle. And it's around this time that I start to notice that this film is basically two stories congealed into one. You got the first half, which is a ton of world building, and the second half, which is a schoolyard mystery. And while I can see people like myself being completely content and fine with both stories, I can also see people preferring one over the other and not liking this movie as much in one part as they do in another part. After passing multiple trials that test each one of the trio's abilities, like the Devil's Snare Trap, where Hermione's herbology knowledge comes into play. Okay. The Flying Key Chase, where Harry's speed and accuracy are tested. Just like how the effects budget is tested that really doesn't hold up and looks really wonky throughout multiple scenes in this movie. And the giant killer wizard's chessboard that tests Ron's strategy, where he must sacrifice himself kind of pointlessly the more I think about it. I mean, what, he couldn't have just climbed off the horse as the queen was slowly making her way towards him? But it doesn't matter because this leaves Ron and Hermione out of the game so that Harry can try to make his way to the stone. But before Harry can get the stone, he is stopped by Professor Quirrell? Yes, poor stuttering Professor Quirrell, who is the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and seemed way too Weasley to be of any significance in this film, is actually the villain of the whole thing. And even though the red herring of Snape's innocence can be a bit heavy-handed at times throughout the movie, as a kid, this twist floored me. And the best part is, when you look back at the whole movie, there are multiple hints here and there that key you into the fact that this twist is coming. Like, yes, Snape looks suspicious when the troll is in the dungeon, but who was the first one to announce that the troll even was in the castle? Quirrell. Yes, Snape was whispering enchantments as Harry's broom was being jinxed during Quidditch, but who was keeping eye contact with Harry to ensure the spell worked? Quirrell. And the only thing that floored me more than that was not only the fact that Quirrell was being controlled by Voldemort this entire time, but Voldemort was literally in the back of Quirrell's head in an effect that holds up remarkably well and still looks really damn creepy. Voldemort tries to manipulate Harry into giving him the stone, Harry refuses, and Quirrell tries to kill him. But the moment they touch Harry, they disintegrate into nothing but dust and clothes. Apparently, when Harry's mother died, she sacrificed herself to ensure that Voldemort couldn't even lay a finger on Harry. Or at least that's what the movie's calling it. I'm going to say it how it really is. A huge Deus Ex Machina and a surprising anticlimax. So the school year is over, the stone is destroyed, Harry has committed manslaughter with 0 consequences, and before Harry leaves, Hagrid gives him a photo album of both he as a baby and his parents, and him now with his 2 new best friends. And as all this is going on, I'm not crying. I'm not. Even when John Williams' music kicks in as Hagrid and Harry are waving goodbye, you're crying. For all my fanboying, I am well aware that Sorcerer's Stone is far from a flawless movie. It's definitely not my favorite film of the franchise. There are plot holes here and there, the pacing can be a bit too slow at times, and there are a lot of CGI effects that really do not hold up. But if I'm being honest, those are minor complaints to the overall grand scheme of the film, which is, on the whole, really freaking good. Whether it's the charming acting of every single cast member, young or old, the beautiful and iconic score by John Williams, or the extraordinarily imaginative writing, set design, and costumes that truly make the entire Wizarding World feel real and alive, this is truly one of the best starts to a film franchise in cinema history. I would honestly put this film up there with A New Hope and Fellowship of the Ring in that regard. I really do love Sorcerer's Stone, faults and all, and I'm going to give it an A-. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below, what Hogwarts house are you in? You can actually go onto Wizarding World's website if you haven't already and find out right now. Because for me, I am a proud member of Gryffindor House. I need some Gryffindor or Harry Potter merch. I am severely lacking in that department. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. I cannot wait to review, rewatch, and share all of my love of the Wizarding World with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. Make sure to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.